Okay, let's put our servos together. Got our servo tray. I'm going to leave it yellow too. There's a slot right here. You can see from the back side. You have to cut that out. Just take your razor knife and go around the edge of that all the way around. Just be sure you got a good sharp knife to do this so it doesn't tear your covering. And then you can also take your iron and heat those edges down after you trim that so you don't get that coming up. Stick it down in there and heat it really good right around that edge. Okay. Now, I like this plane. They have really made some improvements on this. Before you had to glue these blocks on here. These are already in place, glued in. They look to be pretty strong. Already pre-drilled your little holes here. So we'll let's see how this is going to lay. Alright, always mark that with an arrow to the center and the front so I know which way this tray lays in there. It goes just like that. So my servo arm is going to lay just that way. So let's get that in there, center it up, drill out. Drill some holes for the screws. Alright, hold that. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and start these two so that it doesn't move on me. You don't have to crank them all the way down. I'm just going to start them. We want to thread these and then put super glue in them anyway to tighten this threads up so they don't vibrate loose. Alright, we got those started. Now let's go to this side. Alright. Go ahead and, hey, I caught it. How about that? Go ahead and start this. These two, we'll go ahead and thread them down and get our holes threaded, and then we'll go back and put super glue in them. Actually, they're pretty tight. I probably don't need to, but it's always a good idea to go ahead and do that. Okay. Goes down good. Okay. Let's take those back out. I don't know why I don't have my little electric screwdriver out. It works great for this. I'll need to get it here in a minute. Alright. Come on. Let go. I threaded down in there farther than I thought. There we go. I'm on it. Okay, we got those out. Now we're going to take our thin CA and let me get this cleaned off right here. Bend that up just a little. And we're going to get one of our glue tips. Stick on here. And we're going to put thin CA in those holes we drilled. Wick it down in there, just 5 or 6 drops. And that will harden the threads on that wood when we put the screws back in it, so you don't get any vibration, have them vibrate out. Okay. Like that. Alright, while we're waiting on that, let's thread our clev. This stuff comes with good hardware, pretty good solid rods. I think they're these are probably 256, but they're short. But got metal clevises, comes with. We're going to put Loctite on those. We're going to screw that down till the threads start showing through in the center right in there, just like that. Then we're going to take that lock nut, tighten it down, a couple pair of pliers. There we go. Alright, let me get a hold of this. Tighten that down. Because we're going to make all of our adjustment on my planes. I use quick connects on the other end, so that's where we're going to make our fine tuning. I don't have to worry about unscrewing that anymore. So let me get a paper towel here. Drop Loctite on my cardboard. That's not going to need to move it here in a minute when I'm done with my cutting. Okay, put that up. Now, in the drawer here, let's get some JR arms. This plane doesn't need a lot of throw. It's really sensitive anyway. So we're not going to do just a ton of throw on this thing with long servo arms. So see if I can find. Let's see what we got here. Let me see one of those. Oh, there's another one. Let's see if I got 4 of those. I like to use all the same ones. Yep. There's another one. There's another one down in there. Let's see what the difference in length. A little bit longer. Okay. Second hole. Sensitive this is, these here would probably be okay. But yeah, I'm just going to use these shorter ones here. So we'll take that. I gotta find my little cutters. I'm not sure what I've done with them. Clip those off. We only need the one. Okay, now let me get my quick connects. Let's get one of them out. A metal lock and a plastic lock and a set screw. Okay. I got this little socket set. I think I got it at Lowe's, little bitty extension sockets, but anyway, the second one, it is a 7/64. Fits perfect on this little metal. I mean, just like it's made for it. So what I do, let me see if I have to drill these out. Nope, they fit. I lay that down there, get my, well, I get a hold of it, put that on there. Let me get my little hammer, my little brass hammer, Harbor Freight. Love this thing. It's perfect for this. Let's set that on top of there. Get over here. I missed it. Let me get on the table. The cardboard's soft. Alright, hammer that down. I've never had one of these come loose. Then we'll put the plastic one on it for a backup. And there you have a quick connect. We'll just barely thread the screw in it for now. so we don't lose it, we're going to put Loctite on it before we cinch it down. Okay, put that up. Now we are ready to mount this. Let's see, this goes front, center, that goes like that. Now we can put the screws back in this thing. I gotta find it. Hope the batteries aren't dead in it, because I love this thing for this. Saves a lot of cranking of your hand. That glue really makes these things cinch up. Love my little pencil drill. Got it, I believe, at Lowe's. $10, $11, something like that. Perfect amount of torque for putting these in. Alright. That one mounted up. I'll take the servo horn screw out. Right there. Now what we're going to have to do, I've got to bind this receiver right quick to my radio. I'll have to go get it and we'll bind it, and then we can set the throw on this, or not throw, but the linkage. I'll be right back. Okay, got our servo mounted. I did a little modification here with my quick connect on there. It hit, so I had to saw out a little piece of that wood, which is not going to really affect it because your screws go in the corner. And I'll probably trim a little piece of this to put in there to cover that up. But anyway, let's we got it tied on. Let's pull our wire through. It shouldn't be a problem. It ain't very far to the. Don't even need extensions on this. All right, there we go. That down in there. Now, the way that operates. Oh, I got to plug it back in. Here, let me get this off of here. Plug it into the receiver. Okay, it would be aileron. And I'll just run a Y harness off of this. But that will clear. The screw sticking out of this wouldn't clear that earlier. But what I'll do is I'll sand a little piece of this to fit just down in there on that groove to cover that up a little bit. So that'll work. Alright. Now we've got to take our drill, and you got your pilot holes already there. Be careful not to let that go through too hard and go through the back side of your wing. You can do it real easy. Now we want to also pull this back out and CA those holes. Any of your I'll tell you what, I need to just do away with this. Put a permanent tip on here. Let me get one out. Alrighty. Then I'll just put a pin in this. Okay. Just put some CA in those. Just a couple of drops, all it takes. Let me get me one of my little pins out to plug my glue with. That way I don't have to keep messing with that lid. Now, I'm going to take my block here. See if I can manage to hold on to that. Sand this down real thin. Get this end of it down. Now, I can get this in place. I'm going to thin that down a little bit more, and I'm going to glue that in there. Kind of fill in that little gap. Getting hard to hang on to, my little fat fingers. Getting thin. Okay, take my good knife, shave the covering off. Alright, let's see what that'll do. Thin it down just a hair more. Whew, hard to hang on to. Let's see. Wow, I don't know if I can do this or that or not. I'm gonna have to try this. See if I can do it without damaging it. I don't need much more, just a hair. Okay. Now, that will work. Get my glue back out. All this is for is just to kind of blend that yellow in right there so it's not just a raw piece of wood. Take that out so we don't glue it down. Turn this up. Okay. Oh, good grief. Can't get it in the hole there. Alrighty, got that. Wipe up a little piece of glue in there. Oh, doggone it. It wasn't stuck good. Set this back down in there to get it centered. Okay, now we got her. Alright, now we need our little screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 for the other side. Now I'll get my little electric drill out again. Perfect. Okay. 2 more here. Alright, get those in. Now, need to find a, let's see, this ain't gonna fit. Well, it fits it, but it's a 3/32. That would be that one. Alright, now, find my rod here. That should work. Hopefully. Wow. I'll tell you what, maybe tight fit getting that screw in there. Holy crap. Alright. Getting heavy here. I think once I get it in there, it'll clear it alright. I just can't get it in the hole. This is a ball driver, so there we go. Alright, now we need those. Clip this. I'm going to go in a second hold down because, like I said, we don't need a ton of throw on this creature. It's a heck of a handful anyway. You need, if you get one of these, you need to take whatever the book calls for on your throws and turn them down about half. Set your high rates on what the book calls for and turn that half down for your low rates, because it's just crazy. This thing is just spastic when you take off with it if you set it by the book. Even an experienced pilot would have trouble with this thing. Alright, now we've got to line that up. We'll go right there. I'm going to mark my metal up here and go ahead and cut it off. Figure out what I do with my big wire cutter. Put it back in here. Always hold on to the end of this. Don't hit somebody in the eye or fly across the room and stick in one of your other planes. I've done it. Okay. Now you want the center line of this control horn, those lines of holes, you want that right dead center with the center of this control surface. You don't want it too far back or too far forward, and when it bends it's going to bind. You want it dead center over that pivot point. So be sure and get them where they go. Double check my screws. Let's see. Tweezers back out. Maybe those two right there. I think that's going to be long enough to maybe what these longer ones are for. Okay. Lost my screw there. Hang on. Yeah. Wow, those are going to be too short, so it's going to, must be what those are for. The ailerons, because they're thicker. Yep. Alright, 2 of those. I'll find that other one here in a minute. Put it back in here. Now, get this laid down here. Get her lined up 90 degree. Get our holes centered over the center line. And we will drill a hole. And we're going to start this screw to hold this. But
what is that? Another devil?
Little Red Devil number 6.
Really? Number 6. What happened to the first 5? Did you make one of those carts?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Not the first flight. We're working on it. Back to the drawing board.
What happened?
Just tried to hand launch it. I couldn't get it to roll fast enough down there, and I tried to hand launch it, and when I threw it and let go, the chute was kind of over to the side, and it just drifted over, and I couldn't get it pulled out quickly. Okay, wings are done. Aileron's hooked up. Got our red on the bottom all the way across. I left the servo tray yellow and the aileron yellow, but that's still very easy to tell the top from the bottom. Got our SU-31 stickers on here on the top. So we will move on to the fuselage now, see what we can do on that.